And lastly, on this issue of the Clinton Foundation and the State Department, now, I don't want to argue the detail, minutia of it so much as I just want
Neither do I.
I didn't think so. That's why I tried to make this premise. But as a bottom line, what is the president's view of whether there was an adequate separation, rules followed, whatever the question is, during the Secretary's tenure at the State Department, between the State Department and the Clinton Foundation?
Mm-hmm.
Was there concern about a melding of the two entities? Was there an adequate separation or firewall between them? Is the president satisfied that all the rules were followed, if you will?
Yeah. Well, listen, I think in order to draw a final assessment, like you're asking for, it requires a detailed understanding of the minutia that, frankly, I don't have. But what I can tell you are a couple of things. The first is, before Secretary Clinton even started her service as Secretary of State, there was a memorandum of understanding that was signed by Secretary Clinton and by a senior representative here at the White House to ensure that the ethics requirements that are in place went above and beyond those guidelines that are set by law. And I think that's an indication of just how seriously the president takes these issues. And he's quite proud of the record of his administration writ large. And this observation has been made by some of you about how the way that President Obama and his team have chosen to run the federal government over the last 8 years, I think, is a testament to the president's commitment to good government and competence and ethics in government. And the president's quite proud of that record, and frankly, is ready to set that record up against anybody who wants to compare it to previous administrations. So he's quite proud of it, and he's also quite proud of the work that Secretary Clinton did while she was at the State Department. That she served the president and the country quite well in that job, and you've heard the president speak on many occasions about what an excellent job he thinks that she did in that role.
So the fact that a significant number of donors also had access or meetings with the secretary is not a concern, or is a concern, or how should we interpret that?
Yeah.
Or how is the president looking at
Well,
this?
I think there are lots of different ways to interpret it. I mean, I know that one of the names that's been thrown about is Melinda Gates, and she's obviously somebody who is at the top of a large foundation that's doing valuable work around the world, and I don't think it's particularly surprising that she might have relevant business before the Secretary of State, and that by the two of them coordinating, the interests of the country and the interests of the world could be advanced. So, look, I'll let I know all of you are closely covering this story, as you should, and the American people will ultimately consider the facts and draw their own conclusions about these kinds of questions.
So is this just politics?
I would describe it.
Or is there something now that the president wants looked at more closely?
Well, I think what is certainly clear is that there are critics and organizations who are looking for an opportunity to score some political points, but we're also 3 months away from an election. So I think again, the American people will have to sift through all this and draw their own conclusions. I think when you consider the president's point of view, the president's view is he has made ethics in government and competence in government a high priority, as he promised to do when he was running for this office. And he is quite proud that he and his administration have delivered on that promise. And he's proud to put this administration's record up against any other in reaching that assessment. Okay? Mark.
Josh, on Italy.